First of all, why are difficult conversations difficult? Well, there's three key reasons that this happens. The first one is we're not sure what to say. We've grown up, we've never been taught this in school. Our parents or whoever raised us didn't really know how to have difficult conversations themselves. And we've not been on very much training at all. If you're a manager or leader, you'll know exactly what I mean. You started the job, you were a great individual contributor, you got a promotion to manager, and then the training stopped. The second thing is, you may know what to say, but you never really get a chance to practice it before you really need it in real life. And a lot of confidence with difficult conversations comes from practice. And the third reason that people find these conversations difficult is because they don't know how the other person's going to react. Maybe they've dealt with them before, maybe they've had a bad experience with that person, and therefore they go into it with a certain mindset that makes them uncomfortable or anxious, or it's just an unknown. So in this video, what I want to share with you is the best starting place for a difficult conversation around something going wrong. Someone's not performing in the way that we hope that they would. There's a difficulty or a blocker to them achieving some of the outcomes that we've set out for them. How do we go about having that conversation? So I'm really tackling point one here. We don't know what to say. Now, of course, I'm not going to give you the whole conversation because that would just be impossible. But we can start with a really tried and tested method for having these conversations, a really good framework that will set you off on the right foot. It's a really safe place to start. And that is CTRM. So the first three, C, T, and R, all come from the place of, as the manager or a leader, what can I change? And once we've gone through those three, then the last one, M, is more about what the employee, the team member, can change. So C, clarity. As a manager, have I been clear enough around the expectations and the outcomes that we're after? And if I haven't, I want to be really clear around what the job entails, what the actual expectations are around this position or around this task. It's such a safer place to start than you've done something wrong and then immediately getting defensive. Well, I didn't know I had to do it like that. No one told me, it's not written down anywhere. Well, you should know this already. That's not what we want the conversation to go like from the very get-go or at all. So if we start with clarity, it's a really gentle way in, and they may go, right, sorry, I didn't realize. Or they could go, no, I knew exactly what to do. Well, that leads us on to the next one, T. And again, this is still from a manager or a leader's point of view. Okay, so if it's not clarity, is it training? Have we provided enough training for you to achieve those expectations and outcomes that have been set out for you? Again, very gentle. We're not saying it's your fault. We're saying it's our fault, potentially, as our first conversation. If they go, oh yeah, do you know what? I'm not really sure how to do it. I know what's expected of me, but I didn't know I needed to do it like that. And if I'm being honest, I don't think I've got the skill to do it. Could I go on training? Brilliant. It's a really easy fix. Okay, so if you know what to do and how to do it, is it that you don't have enough resources? That could be time, it could be money, it could be people resources, it could be support from other people, including you as the manager, in order to achieve those outcomes. Again, a very gentle way of having this conversation. And they can answer, yes, that's the issue, and we can do something about it. Or B, no, I think I have everything I need. Now, this one's always a little bit delicate because they may blame a lack of time or resources on the reason that they're not achieving. And it may not be something that you can actually do anything about. Maybe there's a fixed budget, maybe there's a fixed timeline, and it can't be changed. And you have to be open and transparent about that. Okay, if we cannot change that, what are we going to do differently in order to still meet those outcomes within the budget? So therefore, the conversation is not a lack of resources, it needs to be about our resourcefulness. If there's still a blocker and outcomes haven't been met, even though we've talked through C, T, and R, then we're on to an M conversation, which is about mindset and motivation. So the first three are what we can control as the manager, what we have a direct impact over. And the last one is more about them, the team member. Of course, we still might have influence over that in a good way. We might be able to support and inspire, but this is, of course, a more delicate conversation now because we're talking about them as a person. And mindset and motivation can cover such a vast variety of topics, but generally they're split into three categories. Number one, external factors. So that could be things like pay, bonuses, holiday, things going on at home that directly impact their ability to do the work. Then we've got internal factors. So things like joy, mastery, purpose, meaning, impact. And then we've got this third category in the middle, which is kind of a combination of the two. It's words like trust and recognition, acknowledgement. They are started by something external, you as the manager or the company, but they create an internal intrinsic motivation. And they're really important to motivate team members. So when we're then talking around motivation and mindset with people, we need to make sure that we're going into it with an optimistic and pragmatic mindset ourselves. We're there to problem solve, we're there to support and serve that person, finding their motivation to do the job. We are not there to judge them. If they've got difficulties and stresses going on outside of work, we're not there to say, well, you need to leave that at the door. If they're struggling to motivate themselves to do the work, maybe they just find it boring. We're not there to say, well, this is the job, what did you expect? That doesn't motivate people any further. We need to be gentle, we need to be clear and kind, but we do need to have the conversation around, okay, so what really goes on in your mind when I offer this piece of work to you, when I ask you to achieve this outcome? Talk me through it. And if we can find what the frustrations are, what the blockers are to people being motivated, then we're much more likely to help them feel motivated moving forward. Of course, motivation is a massive topic, and it's something that I'm going to do further videos around, because we do need to talk around, well, what if it's just a boring job? What if there's no impact that I see? What if I just want to turn up and be paid? They're all important questions to answer around motivation. But as a starting point in a conversation where we're challenging someone that's not achieving certain results that we're after, CTRM is the best place to start. Hope this helps.